Hello everybody and welcome back to RogueTech, where we have some repairs and refits to work on. The question is, do we wait for the financial report or not before we deploy? And I actually don't know the answer to that just yet. We'll have these done within 2 days and then these 3 days after. It's going to be close. I think that we can deploy before the financial report though. So let's go ahead and tick forward a couple of days here. I think that we'll tick forward like that. We're going to have the Awesome, the Salamander, and the Bull Shark out. But I think everything else is good to go. What do we have for our mech bay? We have 1, 2, 3, I'm not really going to count the Wolverine. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That is fantastic. So let's hop into the barracks, and we are going to see what we've got for Mech Warrior promotions. Oh yeah, there was a patch, and there's some of this stuff showing up now, just for the record. And there was a pretty major rework on battle armor in this latest patch. Now, I'm not really going to experiment with that right now. I don't think we have any battle armor components with which to experiment with it. So, that's not going to be a thing. But we are going to get boot camp leveled up here, and if we get our hands on some battle armor, we may try it out. What else can we get here? Another max gunnery on Coldfire. This is all very, very important stuff. Fantastic. Muffin Top with the point of tactics. Sounds good to me. Anybody else? Yes, Poet with a point of tactics.
Mech Warrior training complete.
Better sensor rolls makes me happy.
Receiving you.
Also, vehicles can charge now, apparently. That's interesting. So, like, AI is going to be able to ram us with their vehicles. We'll see what that ends up feeling like. That's definitely going to be a thing that is fascinating. But let's go ahead and hop into the command center now, and we will deploy before this financial report. And what do we want to run here? Maybe this one? It's an escort mission, so it might be another slightly long one. Maybe. What else do we have here? A defend base. This one actually might be good. It's a decent pay, and it is decent max salvage. So let's go ahead and take a look at if there's a free priority salvage here. There's one right here. And that's the free priority salvage. So technically, this is where we should sit. And I'm okay with that. I think that's pretty solid. So at this point, we are... Oh, this is quite different. This is very different. They've squished this into 2 screens rather than 3. Okay. I'll be honest, I'm not sure I like that. It's probably helpful for people who actually... Wait a second. Wait a second. Okay, so for now we're going to put a Hector here. I'm just wondering, can we now deploy 12 mechs? No. To fit Wolverine, vehicle slot should have mechs capacities. To understand which capabilities slot has, hover cursor over icons at the bottom. Okay, yeah, I see. So these slots are vehicle mech, and this is just vehicle. I was a little bit confused by the Mech Warrior and Battle Mech here lingo, but no, that has not changed, so that is fine. So we need to put somebody in the Hector, and who do we want to put in there? We'll need to find somebody with affinities for it, and boot camp fits the bill. So there we go. And let's go ahead and deploy this. Might require more firepower than that. Probably not. We should be fine. We have 8 mechs that we're deploying here. They're not necessarily our 8 heaviest, but they're pretty good. The Salamander and the Bull Shark are not here, as well as the Awesome. The Awesome is honestly not that big of a loss. The Bull Shark, we'll see how that ends up feeling. The Salamander not being here does hurt. There's no doubt about that. But let's go ahead and see what this base that we're defending is going to look like. Now, we do want to keep all of our buildings alive if we can, so that we have that sweet, sweet bonus, but we'll see if that's a possibility. Or even a probability. It may or it may not be. But in theory, this shouldn't be too bad. We need to guard the supply depot. We have a centralized supply depot here in Appian, located to support multiple fronts of hostile action. With so many troops elsewhere, we're looking for a lance of mercs to babysit our outpost. We have no intel that suggests a specific threat, but better to be certain. Commander, while there's a lot of fighting in the region, the supply depot is well behind the current front lines. I can't help but be suspicious about their no intel claim. Indeed, there's definitely intel.
Weapons online. All systems nominal.
Well, that's new. The all systems nominal? Okay. I think that was just the Mech Warrior computer startup, but I was kind of talking over the first part of it, so that's interesting.
Interface initiated.
Yeah, it's not, Darius. Orbital imagery showing multiple enemies moving in. Point defense offline. Yep, that's fine. It looked like the enemies were going to be dropping in over this way to start with, and that is indeed what this looks like. I think we will drop over here for right now. Excellent.
Brown as far as the eye can see.
Indeed it is.
Well, this is a hellhole.
So we immediately see a phase 12 mover out over here.
Sand and dust clogging
Okay,
your joints.
sounds good. We're going to reserve,
Fights over a place like this.
and we're going to keep reserving until this guy moves at least. Or somebody that we see moves. He did not move. This is different too.
What do you need?
Yeah, this has been squished into 2 as well. Honestly, for people who use vehicles, it's probably good. I'm not sure I like it. We'll have to see how I feel in a little bit, after I play with it for a while. So, careful maneuvers, this is new. Reduces movement extremely heavily, bringing it to a crawl, but allows the unit to ignore all pathing and terrain restrictions for the turn in order to unstick itself from bad terrain. That is useful. Not right now, obviously, but that is useful. So we're going to go ahead and fire on this Griffin, and let's see what we get. 2 Gauss misses. Slightly unfortunate there.
Ready for
Our Magcat Mark II is going to step on forward, and it is also going to Warlord. And we also have multi-target back. Fascinating. Absolutely fascinating. We're going to fire at the Griffin. Odds are low.
Affirmative.
Yeah, whole lot of nothing there.
Reporting
But that's
negative
okay.
damage.
At this
Winning
point,
at you,
our Boar's
Commander.
Head steps on forward, and we are going to fire the artillery at this thing. It's in artillery mode. Direct, flak, and artillery. So I guess indirect is now artillery mode. Okay, that's fine.
Take this.
So this Griffin is not having the best of days. It is now unsteady.
I'm here.
Our Battle Master is going to step forward and should now have better hit odds, but it's still round 1, so we're not expecting the hit odds to be tremendous. And yeah, the fact that multi-target is back, that is very interesting to me. I heavily used multi-target in the base game,
Target.
but it wasn't really a thing in RogueTech for me. But now it appears to be back.
Like a
That was a lot of damage to the Griffin, though.
Awaiting
And the
orders.
Black Knight is going to sprint up over to here.
Affirmative.
And that does give us visuals on a Rifleman and a Jenner out there. Cool. And actually, we really should Warlord here. Now, note that this one doesn't have access to multi-target. I'm not sure if that's a mech quirk that they added back in, or if that is just a perk that has been re-added.
Copy that.
Probably need to read the patch notes a little more closely on that one. But the engine core was crit there, and so the Griffin is down. Our APC moves up a bit, fires on the Rifleman. Doesn't really do much of note. Gets a little done, I guess. A Merlin as well. Firing on that small military building. We don't expect a kill on the building, so that is fine. The Prime Mover moves up in a prime fashion, I'm sure. And fires on the Merlin, gets nothing. Absolutely nothing out of it. Okay. The Hector is going to want to move up and see if it can get an LOS. The answer is it can't.
Let's go.
So there's a whole lot of nothing that it gets done there.
Ready for orders.
The Orion is going to be in indirect LOS this whole time.
Going full speed.
Let's just look at these hit odds here. They are not really worth taking. Okay, next up is going to be our Mauler, which again, I feel like doesn't get an LOS. Yeah, that's correct. Okay, sounds good. So the Jenner moves forward. Does nothing of note. Now we're in round 2, though, and things are going to be much, much simpler for us. We're going to sprint forward to here. And the Black Knight can fire on any of these. Now, hit odds mean that we want to fire on the Merlin here because we can fire our pulse lasers, and so we shall. We can also stray shot in theory. And we did get some stray shots in there. I like it. Phase 15, the Rifleman, I think? Yep, the Rifleman moves up.
How's it going?
Odd positioning there by the Rifleman. I think we're not going to sprint. We're just going to walk in with the Hector here. And the Hector is going to definitely fire the tag here, but we're going to Warlord to boost the hit odds even further. The hit odds are already pretty good, don't get me wrong. But we are going to fire the tag and boost those even further. We're through armor on the Rifleman. And yeah, the Rifleman is in serious danger here. The Battle Master is going to move up. This is likely to finish the job. That's a lot of damage into the Rifleman. It's not quite dead, but it is panic level critical, and I don't blame it. It's super close to dead. The Mauler can actually finish the job, like legitimately. We would prefer a side arc over a rear arc here. So we're going to do that, and we're just going to nail it with the LBXs. This is a dead Rifleman. Kaboom.
Mech destroyed.
Excellent. Next up, we are going to have our Orion. And do we have LOS up on this little, like, mini ridge? No, we don't. Okay, we're just going to sprint on in then, and we will fire on whichever of these has higher hit odds, which is the Merlin. We'll even Warlord it to boost those a little bit. That also boosts the clustering, which is nice.
Roger that.
Just a little bit of armor damage there, not really too much. The Boar's Head is going to close in here, and we're going to fire on the Merlin in artillery mode. And we're going to hope to get some splash damage over there. Both of them landed over on this side, which is unfortunate, but we did get some damage in.
Waiting for orders.
The Madcap Mark II is going to sprint up. It does not get LOS because they're in this little divot over here, which is sad. That's okay. Vargar moves in. Turrets are now active. Fires on the Merlin. Does some internal damage. Does not make it unsteady. The Merlin now moves, and it steps forward a bit. Fires on our Hector. Cool. That Merlin is totally dead. It's very vulnerable in that position. The Corsair will move up, and we will fire on the Merlin. And this could easily kill the Merlin. I'm not sure that it will, but we'll see.
Okay, I'm on it.
Reliant on crits, and we got the crits. There we go.
Target destroyed.
All that's left is the Jenner. Prime Mover moves up. Fires on the Jenner. Gets 4 damage, sure. Turrets are firing. Gets 12 damage. Okay, I mean, the Jenner is not particularly easy to hit right now.
Hit him hard.
Phase 17, the Jenner moves. Fires on that small military building. Doesn't take it out. We are fine. The Black Knight is going to move in. I'd like clear LOS here. We're going to position like so. This could kill the Jenner. At the very least, I expect the Jenner to become unsteady from this. That's going to kill, right? Reporting critical hit. Nope. Not quite a kill. But that Jenner, not having the best of days. Ouch. The Hector's going to move up here and finish the job. No problem here. We're not going to fire this ERPPC. It shouldn't be necessary. There we go. Now, where's the second lance going to come from? That's the question.
Standing by.
Gonna turn the Magcat Mark II around, just in case.
What's up,
Same
boss?
with the Orion. We don't know where the enemies are going to come from, right? So let's just find out here.
Yes, Commander.
The Mauler, we're going to take up this direction and let it sink heat. And the Battlemaster will turn around and let the recoil go down. A little bit of heat to sink there as well. Prime Mover, moving around.
What can I do
Being
for
very prime, I'm sure. The Boar's Head is going to sink heat.
you? Yeah.
And the Corsair, sink heat.
Let's move.
Okay. So we're just trying to hedge our bets on where the enemy lance is going to drop in. We do expect another lance, to be clear.
Heads up, Commander. You've got hostile
Over to the
contact
left.
inbound.
Okay. Sounds good. So we'll turn these guys back around and start them heading over this way.
Commander?
The Black Knight is actually going to reserve. We see a hybrid carrier, mortar carrier, and a grasshopper. Nothing too major there, but we want to allow them to move first. Ooh, there's 2 lances that dropped in. Okay, 2 lances. So there's also a catapult and a thunderbolt over here, as well as another bulldog and an AC-20 carrier.
Yep.
Okay. We are going to continue to reserve. They may destroy the building in this round. We'll see. Going for the heavy sniper turret, and they didn't get the kill on it with the AC-20 carrier. At this point, the Hector is going to move up, and we're going to start firing on that AC-20 carrier. So let's see what we get here. It doesn't have much for armor. We can't Warlord yet. Big armor shred on the AC-20 carrier.
Orders.
The Orion is going to move up, and it surprisingly has LOS here. So we'll fire on that AC-20 carrier. I expect this to be a kill. Excellent. Lots of rolls there.
Destroyed.
Okay. Phase 13. They have 3 movers in this one. So that's going to be their Grasshopper and their 2 TBM carriers. Grasshopper firing at the military building. There is a strong possibility that they manage to get rid of our bonus here.
Aye, aye.
But we'll see. The Black Knight is going to close on in over here. And we're going to fire on something. But what? Looks like the answer is the Grasshopper. Just with the HA-20.
Firing on target.
Not getting a whole lot there, but we got a little. So that is fine. Now the TBMs are going to move, or one of them. And which one is it? That one. Okay. Firing on the APC. Okay, I'm actually super okay with this. Yeah, that sounds great. Please do that.
I'm here.
The Battlemaster is going to step on forward.
Affirmative.
And we are going to fire on this TBM carrier, I think. Hit odds are actually way better on the Grasshopper out there. So let's go ahead and do that. We could even Warlord it to boost those a little further, and that's great, up to 56%.
All right.
And we only hit 1 there. That's sad. Okay, the second TBM carrier is going to move here. And let's see what they want to do.
I'm being flanked.
Okay. This is fine. No problem there. I would prefer that they do that over them nuking one of our buildings. So now it's going to possibly ace pilot. Hopefully it doesn't get stuck again. Okay. That's fine.
Standing by.
At this point, our Mauler is wildly out of range, and it is going to sprint over this way.
On
It
my
does
way.
actually
Double
get
time.
in range of this light hybrid carrier, but 14% isn't worth firing, so we're not going to do that.
Waiting
Now,
on
the
you,
Boar's
Commander.
Head positions right here, And we are absolutely dropping artillery on this grasshopper. There is no doubt about that one. None whatsoever. I would love to Warlord this, and it is up. So we're going to Warlord, fire on this grasshopper in artillery mode, because I don't want to stray shot it. Solid. That was extremely solid hits there. Very good armor shred. The Vargar moves up, and what does it do? Fires at the light hybrid carrier. Gets a couple hits. Cool. What else do we have? Enemy Bulldog moves up, fires on that sniper turret. Still doesn't kill it. Shocking.
What do you need?
Our Corsair is going to turn itself around. And what do we got hit odds on? The Grasshopper, probably? That's accurate. It's the Grasshopper. We'll boost our hit odds a bit with Warlord as we close in, and we'll fire our Light Gauss.
Attacking from position.
Solid hits there. That was even a knockdown. I hope the turrets can finish off that Grasshopper. There's a possibility of this. Okay, they have two phase 10 movers, the mortar carrier and the catapult. So this turret that is super low is probably dead here. The prime mover moves up and fires on the light hybrid carrier, gets nothing out of it. And then the catapults, as well as the other vehicle, rather. Firing on the Vargar. I love it. Imagine if it had dropped those AoE incendiaries right over here. That would have been awful for us. But it chose not to. Great. Mortar carrier moves up, fires on the Vargar as well. Beautiful.
How's it
Okay.
going?
Our Madcat Mark II is going to move up over this direction.
Move into position.
And we want to fire on the downed Grasshopper, most likely. Yep, that's exactly where we want to shoot. We're a long ways away,
Engage target.
but we still got 124 damage in there. Perfect. Why on the Bulldog, though? Okay. Why on the light hybrid carrier? There's a downed Grasshopper. Maybe it's out of LOS? I don't know. Questionable. Very questionable. Really focusing that TBM carrier, the turrets. I don't get it.
Yeah?
Well, our Corsair is going to step forward over here. We have good LOS here, and we are going to continue focusing on that Grasshopper.
I'm taking the shot.
Only one hit there. We did take out a double heatsink. Okay.
Commander?
Our Madcat Mark II is going to step on forward over this way as well.
Roger.
Continue closing in, and once again, we're firing on that Grasshopper. We could stray shot. Let's see if it happens. Nope. Not a whole lot getting done there.
Failed to connect.
Indeed. It's a very long-range shot.
Hey,
The Battle Master is going to continue to close in over to here. And this is, I think, very likely a kill on the Grasshopper, at least if it has an XL engine, which it may or may not.
okay.
That's a kill.
Enemy mech destroyed.
Perfect. Pilot incapacitation. Yeah, that would do the
Yes,
trick.
Commander.
So the Black Knight is going to sprint forward as much as it can. It needs to close in. We can fire on the hybrid carrier, or we could fire out over this direction. And hit odds are actually best on this hybrid carrier. Okay, light him up. Good armor damage there.
Waiting for orders.
And our Hector is, of course, a long-range mech and is going to close in over this way. Just checking these hit odds. Pretty good on the mortar carrier. Slightly better on the hybrid carrier. And these mechs are okay. But we're going to fire on that hybrid carrier there. Slight overheat here, and I think we accept that.
Copy that.
Okay. We saw a structure exposure on that hybrid carrier. It may die to fire, but I kind of want to guarantee it, but I'm not going to do that with the Orion. The Orion, I feel like, is overkill on that guarantee. 78% versus... Yeah. We could go for the Bulldog here, or we could go for the Mortar Carrier, and I think the Mortar Carrier is the one that we go for. Let's Warlord this. And with any luck, we'll get right through that armor. That was a lot of turret hits there, which is unfortunate. That's going to spread the damage out pretty wide. Yep, sad. But the Mauler is going to sprint on in.
Wilco.
And the real question becomes, what's the hit odds on that LBX? Not high is the answer. We should probably think about getting the Mauler some longer range weapons, in all honesty. The Thunderbolt moves up.
They've got a lock on me.
Sensor locks our Hector. And then shoots at the large military building. Okay, it barely does any damage to it. Seems fine to me. And then they're dropping some mortars on the Corsair. Those mines are a bit rude. What type of mines are those? Honestly, I'm not sure how much we care. Light hybrid carrier, does it die to the fire? No, it doesn't.
What can I do
Okay.
for you?
So let's see what kind of mines those are. Okay, standard mines. Sounds good. We're going to, I think, fire on the Bulldog here. Yeah, we're going to fire on the Bulldog here.
This should be good.
Just get some damage on in there. That'll be fine. And we just need to continue closing in here. This shouldn't take too much longer to clean up, in all honesty. The catapult moves in, fires on this building. It might kill it, but it doesn't. Sounds good. They do have 3 more movers, though. They could still kill that building fairly easily. Our ally plows straight through the fire to fire at this light hybrid carrier. Gets a little damage in there, but not enough to be relevant. Okay, the Bulldog closes in. Shoots at the heavy sniper turret. It is still alive. For the record. That is insane that it survived this long, but okay, we'll take it happily. And then finally, all that we've got left is this TBM carrier. Firing on the sniper turret. Now it dies, but they wasted so many rounds on that. I love it. We've still got 3 turrets. We're hoping one of them finishes off this light hybrid carrier. That would be amazing. The mortar carrier ace pilots in a bit to park up over by this ore vein. That's mineral deposit. That's not surprising. Let's see what our turrets do. Well, first we've got the prime mover firing at this TBM carrier. Okay. Gets a little damage in there. And then turrets firing at the Bulldog. Chunks the armor a little. More turrets firing at the Bulldog, getting nothing done there. And then a laser on the hybrid carrier. Nothing done there either. Okay, that's a little bit unfortunate, to be sure, but I guess that's fine.
Commander.
The Hector is just going to move up here. Yeah, we're going to take a little bit of mine damage. That's okay. We can fire on any of these, and our hit odds are actually best, probably on that Bulldog. Pretty good on the Thunderbolt, too, but let's finish off the Bulldog here. We can't fire this PPC due to heat, though.
Target acquired.
As a dead Bulldog.
Hostile removed.
Excellent. So next is going to be the Thunderbolt. Closes in. Fires on the heavy AC turret. That's pretty neat.
Awaiting orders.
Our Black Knight is going to sprint in as close as it can. And we're just going to check hit odds. We have LOS on absolutely everything here. I feel like it's overkill on that light hybrid carrier over there, but there are good hit odds on it, so I guess we'll take it and we'll not fire the HA-20. There we go. 2 vehicles down.
Smoked one.
And
Waiting
next
for
up,
order.
our Orion is going to move in. We're not really going to care too much about the mines again. That's fine. We could fire on this TBM carrier, and I think that is the target. Ooh, the Gauss missed. I was expecting the Gauss to hit. That does mean that it's going to take another turn to take out that unit. That is unfortunate, but we can move up with the Magcat Mark II.
On my way.
And the Magcat Mark II from this position can fire on any of these. And the hit odds are telling us to fire on the Thunderbolt. Okay, sounds good. We'll even Warlord it to boost those a bit. The Thunderbolt is fairly fresh.
Roger.
2 misses. Oof.
That didn't hit.
That's 56%. I would have expected 1 hit there.
No.
The Battlemaster is going to exit the minefield.
Oh boy, here we go.
And we're going to go for the kill, I think, on this light hybrid carrier.
Think so.
We missed everything there. That's sad. I was expecting something to
Bad
hit,
luck.
but absolutely nothing hit there. The Mauler will close in and finish the job.
On my way.
This is a guaranteed kill on the light hybrid carrier. Even though these hit odds aren't great, it's still, I think, guaranteed. Yep, there we go.
Enemy down.
Perfect.
What do you need?
Okay, so the Corsair is going to close in over here. It does not have LOS over there, but we can fire on the Thunderbolt or on the Catapult, and we're definitely going for the Thunderbolt here. See if we get anything. Actually, yeah. Some solid hits there. Phase 12. That is our APC friend. Firing on that mortar carrier. Getting very little done there, in all honesty. And now it is going to be the Catapult. The Catapult could finish off that small building. And it doesn't. It goes for the Hector. Very neat. It does throw infernal rounds over here, which is sad, but that's okay for now. The Boar's Head is going to stay exactly where it's at. We are going to fire, I think, on the Thunderbolts. Yeah, this is going to be building up heat, and we have to fire this in artillery mode, which is slightly unfortunate. But let's do it.
Firing everything I've got.
Solid hits there. That Thunderbolt is actually
Another hit like that.
fairly
Here it
in
comes.
danger right now.
My heat.
Okay,
Getting
we've
pretty
got
high.
another vehicle that's going to move here. Prime Mover comes in, fires on the mortar carrier again. I wish they'd stop focusing on that, but that is a structure exposure, and that means that our Black Knight next round can finish that. That's great. At this point, the mortar carrier moves, and what does it do? Fires on the Hector. With Inferno rounds again. So that's getting to be a lot of Infernos.
Watch my heat levels.
Indeed. Oh, the heavy autocannon going for the mortar carrier. Go for the Thunderbolt. It's a free kill. Like, seriously, stop going for the mortar carrier. I mean, sure, you get a kill there, I think. No, not even. I don't know why they're going for the mortar carrier. The Thunderbolt is free. Absolutely free. When does it move? Phase 16.
Standing by.
The Black Knight is going to move in and go for the kill on the mortar carrier.
On the move.
I want them to stop focusing this, please. So we'll deal with it ourselves. Okay.
That's the kill.
Indeed it is. Next, we're going to move up with our Hector. This is going to be exiting the minefield here. Heat is up there for sure. We definitely cannot fire this ERPPC.
I'm taking damage.
And actually, we just can't fire with the Hector. Too many infernal rounds.
Over the red
'Kay.
line.
The Corsair, on the other hand, probably can fire here.
Understood.
Yeah, I think it can. Maybe not the large pulses. Or just maybe not the lasers in general. But it can fire its Gauss rifles.
Roger.
And that's some heavy damage into the Thunderbolt.
Got past the armor.
Perfect. Now, the Thunderbolt does move now, which is sad. And then guarded and entrenched.
Standing by.
Interesting. The Orion is going to close in
On my
over
way.
here. It doesn't care about guarded and entrenched. It is going to fire on this Thunderbolt, and it's going to at least destroy this torso. Okay.
Scored a critical hit.
The Thunderbolt is unsteady again.
What's up, boss?
The Madcat Mark II is going to stay exactly where it's at and fire on that Thunderbolt. Once again, we don't care. And that's a dead Thunderbolt. Perfect.
Mech destroyed.
So now we've got the catapult left, and that is it. We're going to just go ahead and close in here, despite the landmines. Prime Mover moves up, fires on that catapult. Doesn't get much done. It's not shocking. And let's see if the catapult exposes itself here. That would be amazing if it did. The Black Knight doesn't care about that heat. And it did move forward a little bit. That's
I'm here.
interesting, to be sure. But it's not exposed enough for the Battlemaster to go after it.
Try.
So we'll just sink heat and let our recoil reset. Sounds fine to me.
Commander.
The Boar's Head is going to fire on this catapult. We're not going to shoot the LRM-20
Special delivery.
due to heat purposes. Both of those landing a bit short, but we got a little armor damage in there.
Pretty hot in here, Commander.
Indeed it is.
Commander.
The Mauler is going to sprint on forward, sink
Hauling
heat,
ass.
and let its LBX recoil reset. AMS unjamming as well. Barker firing on that catapult, getting a little bit done there. And the missiles actually doing a decent chunk there, making the catapult unsteady. The autocannons haven't hit anything this entire mission, I don't think. From that particular turret.
Awaiting orders.
I feel like we reserve, honestly.
Waiting for the right move.
Vargar moves up. Because the catapult's out of LOS. So I think we reserve and let the catapult come to us if it's going to. It would be foolish to, but
Confirmed.
that's the AI for you. Prime Mover moves up and fires on that catapult. Gets very little done, but a little bit of armor damage, sure. And the catapult moves back. That's about what I expected it to do there.
Taking
We just
minimal
need to
damage.
continue to close in on it. But it might be able to, delay this until the mission is over, which would be sad. Very sad
I
indeed.
hear ya.
The Boar's Head is going to continue to drop artillery on it.
Roger that. Firing on target.
Only a little damage from the sniper artillery, but the Arrow 4 doing better.
Here.
The Hector is going to sprint forward and sink heat. There we
Hey
go.
there.
The Madcat Mark II is not really in a position to do much of anything.
Let's
It'll
see
just
what this
exit the
thing can
minefield,
do.
and that's fine.
Aye, aye.
And the Mauler will close in
Copy that.
over here. Okay.
What
The Battlemaster will also close in. We're quite a long ways away from this catapult, though.
Good to go.
And our Orion is going to sprint forward.
On my way.
Sadly,
Double time.
our LRM-20 Zeus is jammed, but we'll Warlord and drop LRM-20 Clan on the catapult
Firing.
and hope to get something done there. Little bit of armor reduction. Sounds good.
Yes, Commander.
And our Black Knight is going to sprint up over this
On
way
the
and
move.
sink heat. Okay, let's see what the turrets do. A whole lot of nothing
Awaiting
is the
orders.
answer. Okay. Once again, we're going to reserve and hope that he walks forward. We'll see if that happens. The Prime Mover moves up, shoots at the catapult, gets a little done there. He's like phase 12 that he moves in. Yeah, phase 12. The Varger moves up, fires on the catapult. Actually gets some internal damage there. That's very neat, but we would love for him to walk forward
Copy
here.
that.
We'll see if he does. Kind of. He is in LOS, though, so that's great. Continuing to fire the internal rounds at the
Light
Black
damage.
Knight.
Holding
Or rather,
firm.
the infernal rounds, not internal rounds.
Good to go.
The Madcap Mark II is not able to get into any LOS, so it just moves forward.
Roger.
And what do we got?
Let's do
The
this.
Hector, yeah, that's direct fire.
Full speed. No target.
Not going to be a thing.
What can I do for
The Boar's Head, on the other hand, let's see what we get here. Do we even fire the LRM-20? No, I think not now. But that is a CT exposure on that catapult. So we could theoretically take it down here. But we didn't.
Aye, aye.
The Mauler is going to continue to sprint on in.
Roger that. Hey,
And the Battlemaster as well. I mean, we are going to catch this thing eventually. And I think we will be able to kill it and get our
Right
bonus
here.
from that. So that's great. We're going to move forward with our Corsair.
Roger.
Get a whole lot of nothing there, though. And then
ma'am.
our Black Knight, of course, is not in direct LOS.
here we go.
So we'll climb up the hill. Sensor lock. Not tremendously
by.
useful, but I guess it'll help our Orion a bit
Aye, aye.
here. We'll fire our LRMs this time, and we may kill the catapult here.
Affirmative.
There's some internal damage. Some crits,
Solid connection on.
and an ejection. Perfect. Okay, let's get out of here.
Mission successful.
So we were able to destroy them before the reinforcements arrived. Always great. That means that we are going to get additional bonuses, and we kept all of the buildings alive. So additional bonus there as well. I'm very, very pleased about that. As far as salvage goes, we might try to salvage a couple of those vehicle parts. I don't know. This was mostly for that payout, and as far as armor damage, we didn't take that much. We took, honestly, the most damage that we took was from running over mines, but that was mostly because I didn't care. The carrier here is worth not much at all. The light carrier is worth even less. So honestly, I mean, there's a couple of enhanced LRM-15s. Might as well grab those, although they're not worth much. Double heatsink kits. Honestly, I'm just going to take the catapult part. And yeah, we get a decent amount of things there. Can get rid of that engine core, that jump jet, the basic sensors we do not need, and the flare ammo mortar. We'll get rid of that too. Excellent. As far as how much damage we took, I expect us to be in the 120,000 C-bills category. Somewhere around there. We took a decent amount from running through mines, and there were a few hits that we took here and there. But overall, that was not too bad. And I expect this to be an extremely profitable mission, so that is fantastic. Once we know how much that's going to be, though, I am going to put a cut in here because this mission, or rather this episode, has gone well over, so we are definitely going to be doing that. Once we know how much that's going to cost, that'll happen. For now, while it's loading, you can leave your offerings to the engagement gods in the form of likes, comments, subscribes, and bell ringings, and let's see how much Yang thinks this is going to be. Hey, 111k. Ballpark, but less than I thought. I like it. And with that, I will see you all next time.